how one of my mentorship students was able to go and get a client for $3,200 per month, and she has 2 more calls on calendar. So give me one second. Let me switch my camera, just make the camera look a little better. Boom. Come on, work. So I accidentally grabbed the wrong camera right before I got started. And, sometimes will happen, but it's just one of those things where, you just got to adapt and evolve. Whoa. Note to self. So why is this really important? Okay, so the reason why this is so important is because we're basically going to be talking about like what are some of the elements of this that allowed that student to be able to grow the business. Now, if you're watching this video, maybe you're trying to grow your business, but it's just not quite working the way that you want, and you want help to grow your business so that you can really capitalize this year and make this year the best year for yourself, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if we can help you inside of our mentorship program. Yeah, someone commented live. So actually speaking of that, if you're watching this thing live, you might see there's some instructions either above or below the video where it talks about, hey, help me engage inside of this video, right? So if you're watching this thing live, type in hashtag team live. If you're watching this thing on the replay, type in hashtag team replay. The reason why I ask you to do that is because it expands the video audio of this recording and allows it to be seen by more people. Right now we have about 35,000 people inside of our Facebook group, and if we don't share it, then a good portion of them never actually get notified that it's actually live. So if you want to support other people who are trying to grow their business, help us out by doing that. And since we're not charging for these videos, that's one way you can say thank you and encourage me to keep going and keep doing these every single week. So let's attack this thing. So how did one of the students do that? So there are 3 elements of preparatory things you have to do in order to start getting clients to respect you enough to want to pay you money. Number 1, you have to have belief in yourself. So one thing that I've kind of noticed has been very prevalent in our space, especially if you're like a bookkeeper and accountant, even some CPAs have this, is like the more you know about accounting and bookkeeping, the more you realize that you don't know. And what that leads to is feeling like it's called imposter syndrome, where we're feeling like, oh my gosh, how can I ever compete with someone who's been doing this for 40,000 years? How can I ever be able to get clients if there's people who, are better than me at this thing? Like, what if I don't have that much experience? Right? Even if you had 5 years experience, 10 years experience in corporate America, some people still have these kind of feelings. So the first thing you have to do is start really understanding that it's not always just about you. Oftentimes it's more about like if you have the ability to learn and to actually care about the other person's situation, then you will do the best job possible to get them really great results. And that's really what most business owners care about. They don't necessarily need you to be perfect. They don't even want you to be perfect. What they really want is just someone that's there and someone that's going to give it their best shot. And remember too, you always have access to the CPA. So like you don't have to have everything be 100% correct, right? Just do the best you can, know exactly where to turn if you have questions, and then understand that you do have help and you can always reach out for help. That was the biggest turning point for me because I thought I had to do everything myself. I thought I had to like know every single thing. And like I thought I didn't know every single tax code. I just because I was really, really embarrassed that I didn't know everything when I first got started. And if I knew what I knew now, it's just like I would have been able to start faster, sooner, and I would have been a lot more confident, right? Because the one thing that led to my struggles when I was first getting started with my bookkeeping and CFO business was I thought that since I didn't have as much experience, and I thought that since I didn't know as much other people, I couldn't charge a high price point, right? When I started learning, I just started investing in a lot of like courses to like figure out like how to do like pricing, how to do like sales, negotiation, confidence courses. Just took a bunch of different things to kind of learn how to develop those skill sets. So when I was sitting in front of business owners, I'd feel more confident when they'd ask like, well, how much are you charging? Right? Because like when I was starting, someone would ask like, oops. Yeah, when someone would ask me like, "Well, how much do you charge?" I would like stutter, right? Because I was like, "Well, it's this," and then I would immediately try and give a discount because I was so afraid that if I set a price that was higher than what the person was willing to pay, I would lose them forever. So before they could tell me no, I would tell myself no, and then I would literally just like I would just be so scared of what the other person was gonna say. Once I started really getting confidence in my skill set, both in like the way I price my services, and like you can get stronger at pricing by just like getting pricing calculator tools and then working on really communicating your value. Once you do that, it's just a matter of like just having the internal fortitude that it's okay to lose clients. Like you can say a price that's like high and be okay if someone does not work with you, right? We'll talk about that in a minute with like comes to marketing, but always know like there's always going to be another lead out there that you can potentially go and speak to. And if you're getting at like a cost effective enough like point, you don't really have that much to be afraid of. So I'll even slide into marketing. So I one thing you might know if you ever watch any of like the videos I talk about on my channel, there's two main marketing methods I like to talk about. Number one is LinkedIn. Number two is partnerships. Now, I actually like using LinkedIn to actually go and get partnerships and to go directly after clients. Now, I was actually just using LinkedIn today. I've been really kind of going in because sometimes I'll have like my virtual assistant managing my LinkedIn account. But I was reminded, like, I was having so much fun because it's so simple to go and start conversations on LinkedIn. If you understand, like, who are you supposed to be speaking to? Who's a person that can potentially use your service? It works so well. I mean, think about it like this. You have this billion-dollar company in LinkedIn, right? Which its whole purpose is to connect people. And you're in a professional services business where people need to trust you and know you in order to want to work with you. That's the perfect storm. LinkedIn's only job is designed to connect you with potential people that can potentially pay you money. And you don't have to spend that much money. Like if you want to go on like LinkedIn, you can use like Sales Navigator, or even use like the free version of LinkedIn and still be able to get some pretty good results if you understand how to do it, right? So on LinkedIn, really what it comes down to is understanding who's a person that's going to end up like wanting to pay a high ticket price. So like I would technically avoid like really small startups if you're trying to charge above $750 a month. If you're trying to charge below 750, like it's okay if you go after like, the slightly smaller startups, which there's a lot of those on social media. But if you're trying to get high ticket clients, like clients that pay between like $500 to $5,000 per month, I would definitely shoot for like companies that are a little bit more mature, generally between like 3 to about 6 years old. Sometimes you can go a little bit older, but that's what I'm shooting for when it comes to LinkedIn. Then you try to understand like how to build your profile in a way that's very attractive to them, that explains what you do, how you can help, who you can help, and then also sprinkles in some of your personality as well, so they fully understand like, okay, this is actually a person, and you're separating yourself not based on just like your skill set, but also your personality. A lot of business owners will actually go with you just because they like your personality and you have a good enough skill set. Like you don't need to be an expert. It can just be like, you know what you're doing, you know where to go and get help, you're enthusiastic, you show up on time, you have a great personality, the person likes talking to you, they feel really comfortable around you, and your price is not extremely, extremely high. Maybe it's like it's reasonable, right? And they'll go with you. Then from there, you just got to understand how to have a message conversation, which again is so, so, so easy as you get good at it. Now, when I say it's easy, it's because I practice a lot, right? I'm having conversations consistently. Now, the thing that makes this stuff hard is not necessarily it's that business is necessarily hard. It's that most people are not consistent. Most people do not know how to spend, like 20 to 30 minutes a day doing the same exact thing, which can be kind of boring. And then most people just don't really know what to say on social media to get people interested in communicating about their service. Now, once you understand those things, I can always give you like a messenger script if you're inside of our program, right? I give you like messenger scripts. We look at your messenger conversations, talk about like what can you do to actually improve this and move the conversation forward towards actually the person wanting to work with you. But if you have that, there's no reason why you can't go and increase your income and keep making more and more sales and getting more and more clients, right? And the reason why, because to put in perspective, most internet advertisers, so if you see someone advertising on the internet, on average, it costs between about $1,000 to $2,000 that they spend to get one client. So if you see someone who's like, maybe they're a CPA firm, right? And they're like advertising that they're doing like tax plan or tax strategy, oftentimes it costs them between $1,000 to $2,000 to get one person to pay them money, right? And the reason why we do is because we're trying to scale and we can like spend in quantities that allow us to be able to get the number of clients we want over the course of the year. But if you don't want to spend $2,000 a client, you just use these other social media platforms and learn how to have conversations that get people interested and educated on why they should work with you. And you're saving so much money. Like, for example, for me, on an average year, I spend anywhere between about fifty to about $80,000 on ads, right? Which, if you've never spent that much money on ads, yeah, that's a lot of money for some people, right? But if you know what you're doing, it's really good. But even to this day, I still do a lot of like the methodology I talk about. Like I do like the LinkedIn stuff we're talking about. Like I was talking about today, I was on LinkedIn messaging people, and it was just like I'm always just refreshed whenever I do that because it's like it's very simple traffic. It doesn't cost a lot of money per client. You can just really focus on building your network over time. Like I looked at my LinkedIn account. I think it's like it's like 50, 58 or 5,900 people that all I do is just like restart the conversation, just go from like top to bottom, network, and then you just like start talking to people and say, oh shoot, I haven't talked to this person like in 3 months. I haven't talked to this person in like a month. Okay, I need to go keep the conversation going. You just see if this person is like their situation's changed, if they want my help, maybe they want to clean up. Maybe they want a catch up. Maybe they want me to go set up their accounting software. Maybe they want me to connect them with like a CPA. I don't know exactly, but I want to go and talk to them and understand it. And some people it's gonna be very time consuming. It doesn't have to be. Like you could sometimes, for example, I used to whenever we have like family time, right? I would sit there and just text on my phone while everyone else is watching the movie, right? And yeah, like argue together with them, it gets kind of squirrely. But I mean, it doesn't take that long. While you're doing your leisurely stuff, while you're like sitting in like a meeting, like maybe you're like a phone meeting at work, right? You just have your phone out and you're texting on LinkedIn to get people to work. Or you can actually do automation. So there's automation tools you can use that will automate the connection request sending, the first message, and all you have to do is just check your phone every 15 minutes. Not every 15 minutes, but like maybe like have like 3 blocks. So you do one check when you get into office, another check around lunchtime, another check right before you leave the office, then maybe a check like after dinner time when everyone's kind of digesting the food and like, the kids are kind of getting ready for bed. It doesn't have to be that much if you just do things right. And if even that's too much time for you, you could always hire like a virtual assistant, like maybe someone out of like, I like the Philippines for virtual assistants. I like Brazil for virtual assistants as well, like more South American places as well, because the exchange rate's very good and very favorable if you're in the US, Canada, or the UK. Now, that will fully automate it. The reason why I was making a big deal earlier, where I was like, yeah, I was in the LinkedIn Messenger inbox because like most times I'm not the person like actually doing that. I just have someone that posts on my LinkedIn account. I have someone that sends connection requests, responds to people, and if they have like a question or something that they can't answer, then they just screenshot it and send it to me, and I give them the answer, and then you just have this money making machine. And it's just like you just don't have to be perfect in this game. Just have to be going, have to be trying as hard as you can, have to believe in yourself. You have to make sure that you're just consistent. Okay. You're putting in the time. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, but just do a little bit every single day. Just a little bit every day. It all adds up. It all adds up. Like it's, and I know I get kind of excited when I talk about this stuff, right? It's like, it's not a lot. You just have to want to do it. You need to know what your goals are. You need to make sure your pricing is correct. Like, why do I talk about like putting our price between like $500 to $5,000 per month per client? It's because if you put it inside that range, the max you need in order to get to like 6 figures a year is about 20 clients. So maybe let's say, for example, if you get like one for like 1,000, another one for 2,000, another one for maybe like 500, another one for 500. That is all right. What do we say? 1,000. That's 2,000. That's $5,000 on about 5 clients. That's all you need to get to about $5,000 a month, right? And currently there are 30.9 million business owners inside of the United States. You can definitely go. There's room for you inside the space if you do the right things and if you just put some time inside the game. To keep in mind too, it's like most of your competitors, like they're not doing this stuff. Like most people just don't understand digital marketing. They never put in the time. They think it takes too much time. They just don't actually get going. They don't get started. So the competition level is extremely low, right? All you have to do is just do a little bit more than the average person, the next person. And then once you're able to make enough money to leave your job, you get all that time back to keep making your clients happy, talking to your clients, getting referrals, doing marketing, doing some consultation calls. And that's when it's really easy going like, like make it to multiple six figures a year. Like there's no reason why after about 3 years in business, you should not have your business be doing at least $200,000 per year, right? Think about it. 24 months is about 2 years. So if you just add about $1,000 per month to your monthly recurring revenue, so it's every month after 24 months, you should be about 240, what is that, 24,000 per year, or sorry, 24,000 per month times about 12. Yeah. It's about 260 to 80K per year, right? So it's not rocket science. It's just most people are not willing to put in the work that long, and most people can't stay focused on one thing that long. But if you can, and you watch this, like if you're watching this for 15 minutes, like you're someone that can do the work, right? In the same time that you spent watching this video is the same amount of time it takes for you to go and use LinkedIn to start drumming up business for yourself. So you have the time to do it if you can sit and watch like videos like these. It's just, are you going to do it? And if the answer is yes, then you will be where you want to be if you give yourself enough time, you learn the right skill set, maybe you go and hire a mentor so you know exactly what to do. Now, if you want help growing your business, I invite you to go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, right? Maybe you've been trying to grow your business, but just not quite working. I talk to people every single day where it's like, they've been trying to grow the business for like 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. And I ask them, like, why? I've known you for a little while. Why have you not, asked for help? And some people, like, they didn't know whether they could ask for help. Maybe like they're, embarrassed to ask for help, whatever the case may be. Like, you don't have to struggle. It's really a choice for how long you struggle. So if you want to be able to go and finally hit your goals and be able to live a life of freedom where you don't have to ask your boss for time off, if you don't have to, worry about missing your children's sporting events because you're out working. If you want to hit those goals, you want to have that freedom, go ahead and click the link inside the description above or below the video. Book a call with myself. See if I can help you inside of our programs, okay? We're not a good fit for everybody, but for the people we are, we give some really great results. We have the track record to prove it. Be happy to show you some testimonials, some referrals, et cetera, right? To make sure that you understand that if this is the right thing for you, I want you to have 100% certainty that this is the thing that's going to take you to the next level. So if that's you, I'd love to see you on the call. If you're not quite ready, that's A-okay too. We have a lot of video training. Maybe you can watch some of that to see if it can move you closer to your goals, okay? Talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your